Okay, I got a good question. This is number 11 from 10.5, and we're doing hypothesis testing. But um, what makes this problem tricky is that we're not given the data that we're usually in the way that we're usually given the data. So what the student was asking is how do we get the mean and the standard deviation from like a frequency table? So let me show you how to do that. I just loaded up the data from the problem in StatCrunch, hopefully. Let me try that again. Oh, here we go. Open in StatCrunch. There we go. Okay, so yeah, it's just a frequency table here. Now, if you want to get the mean and standard deviation, all you need to do is do summary stats, and then this is group or bend data. So the data is bend into the ideal numbers. So the bends are in ideal number of children, the counts or the frequency are in frequency, and we're going to use the limits. Then we want what mean. Let's get n and the standard deviation. You'll understand why I'm doing n a little bit later. And then I just need to hit compute. Okay, so this gives me the mean, right, of the data, the standard deviation, and how many different data points we have. We have 915, which is just the sum of that frequency column. Okay, so that should answer these two parts. Okay, and then the other thing that was a problem was getting the hypothesis testing right and getting the test statistic and the p-value. I actually, when I was going over this, doing the problem to make sure I could get it right to do this video, one mistake I made was I just used these rounded values. When I put them into the hypothesis testing calculator, and it ended up giving me the right p-value. Still, it was close enough in the p-value, but the test statistic was off by a bit. So I found what I needed to do was use these more fuller estimates of the mean and the standard deviation with more decimal places. So if I go to stat, and I'm using t-stats because this is a mean, right? I've got a summary here, and the sample mean, I'm just going to copy and paste this number. And then for the standard deviation, do the same thing. The sample standard deviation right there. And then I think 915 is just the sample size. And then this problem is having us do this at I think 5% significance. Yeah, 0.05 significance. Oh, where did my StatCrunch go? Lost my StatCrunch. Hold on, maybe I can get it back. There it is. All right. But that's just one of them. There we go. So finally, okay. So I've got this let's see. Oh, I don't need the significance for hypothesis testing. And the hypothesis test is, our survey 2 years ago thought the mean was at 2.72 children, and we just want to see if it's changed. So a two-tailed test. Okay, hit compute, and then you can see now we have, when we round to 2 decimal places, we have the test statistic, and we also have the p-value right. So I hope that helps on this problem. It's a little tricky because they give you that frequency table instead of either giving you just straight data or actually a data summary with just giving you the average and the mean. Okay, that's what made this tricky. Hope that helped.